Hello, growers. Say goodbye to heavy sandbags and hello to modern growers' quick hoops low tunnels. Protect your plants from pests, wind, rain, and frost without the hassle of sandbags or flimsy hoops. Our patented design eliminates the need for clamps and ropes, while the unique wire system keeps covers secure yet easily accessible. Tested in the strong winds of New Zealand for over 20 years, quick hoops are light, strong, portable, and versatile. Most importantly, they're designed for field use. These aren't some lightweight system that only looks great in a greenhouse. Our hoops are designed to last in harsh field conditions. Use them with any covering to grow year-round and safeguard your crops. Shade cloth, frost blanket, insect net, clear poly, no problem. Quick Hoops can handle them. Get Quick Hoops today at shop.moderngrower.co and protect your crops for years to come.
What is your crop plan that you're doing to make this work? Based on some of the stuff you said about not having to have the most profitable crops, you're also able, you said, to cut some afternoons short. What's enabling you to do this and yet fund the farm, fund lifestyle?
I think a couple of big key things. One is flowers. About a third of our sales are flowers, and those are a high profitability crop, no question. Just to throw out one example, and this is probably the tip top of the flower profitability example, but I planted 1.5 beds of ranunculus for this past spring, and that 1.5 beds earned us a little over $5,000. So wow. If you just have even just a few of those crops on your farm, and I think it speaks to the kind of mixed feeling I have about what we started out talking about, because you do need high profitability crops. And if you can have even just a few that you can do in a pretty big way, you're well on your way to hitting a high enough revenue number for the year that you can do a lot with the rest of your time and your space. So flowers is one absolute key thing. I would say the other is a pretty long season. I have a farm stand on the farm that is open. Some years it's open year round, but I think I'm moving towards most years closing it for at least, say, 6 weeks to 2 months every winter, just to take a break and give the rest of the people a break. But that long season in a small population market, probably a good portion of my customers are buying a substantial amount from me 40 weeks of the year or something. And so we don't have to go so intense, so hard at any one time of the year because we are spreading all that out.
Yeah, I think one key on the profitability thing is, and I think you hit it, the ranunculus is a good example because now everybody's going to be like, oh, just go plant that. I talked to a microgreen grower who was making a bunch of money just selling flower petals. And it's like, yes, certain things are profitable, very profitable, but they're not very profitable in every location. And that's the whole key.
Yeah, I think so.
Food or anything you do. It's finding those profitable crops for your location. And there's probably, if you Venn diagrammed it, there probably is a lot of overlap in there of what those are, but that doesn't mean that is the default. So what are the other crops in the mix there that make up the bulk of your sales? Like what's at the low end, like stuff that you'd say is people would just say, no way, you're never going to be able to grow that on a market farm?
I really like to grow cantaloupe. I do a lot of my farming with the tractor, and so I can prep 600 foot beds for a little cantaloupe patch. It's just not super profitable per bed foot, but it's something that really draws people, especially like about this time of year. We have this dip in enthusiasm. I feel like it gets hot and people are sick of being out at the farmer's market. But if I can hand them a cantaloupe, then they'll keep coming. But yeah, I don't think per labor hour or per bed foot that it's very profitable. Maybe like bulb onions would be considered not super profitable. It's a lot of work, a lot of weed control for a not very sexy crop. I'm suddenly blanking on all the things I feel like I grow that I'm not supposed to, but
Like, are greens a big part, or tomatoes a big part, cucumber?
Yeah, tomatoes are a big part for sure. I grow a variety of tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, grape tomatoes, and then slicers and some heirlooms, not a ton of heirlooms, but some. I grow greens. My salad mix, I feel like, is one of my weakest where I need to improve the most. I just haven't dialed it in basically. And I know that a lot of people rely on that as their like core crop. We get a lot of rain here. And so if it's not in a tunnel, the lettuce can get pretty beat up pretty badly. So I just need to improve on that. But yeah, and then we do some other greens like collards and kale, some mustard greens. But none of those are huge. I wouldn't say any of those are a huge part.
A steady customer base, it's buying from your farm stand about 40 weeks a year, you said. Are they generally buying variety every week? Like, is it, if you have that regular customer that comes up, are they closer to buying 10 things each to 4 things each?
I think it's pretty common that a produce customer, so there's people that come in and just get a flower bouquet, and that's maybe half of my flower sales. And then nearly everyone else, I would say, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of everyone else is at least buying 5 or more items from what I've seen.
So it's important to have variety.
I really think so. Yeah. I think I have enough dedicated customers who will come buy some of just about everything I have. That's how I'm able to make it work in a small city. I'll have, like on this past farmer's market, Saturday was a fluky, slow day. And I mentioned that it was a slow day to a couple of customers, and they just grabbed one of everything and were like, oh, we can use this and this. And it was like 2 customers each spent $70.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and that makes a big difference if you can get a few of those people and have enough to offer them.
What's a small city? You've mentioned that.
Oh, yeah. So Muskogee is a little under 40,000 people.
Okay. And on a farmer's market, you have any idea the traffic flow through there in a day?
Yeah, something between 600 and 700 on average on Saturdays.
And what's a good day at the market?
For me, we've hit close to $3,000 this year. One great thing is we've held our high pretty steady for really since the 1st of May. We've been over 2,000, up around 2,500 a lot of those times. And then we'll have days that drop below 2,000. That it holds pretty steady.
So if you look back at the past 13 years, has it been a lot of, you're obviously probably accumulating customer base, building reputation in the town. And then has it been trial and error through those 13 years of getting the crops that work best for the land management, customer base wants them, the economics work?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you've really evolved that over time.
Yeah, I know after 13 years that I'm not great at, like, when I listen to some of your podcasts, Diego, it seems to me like you're maybe more of a big picture person. Would that be, I don't know if that'd be fair.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, in a great way. But I think that I'm not. But I think I'm really good at tweaking 10% this way, 10% that way, and keeping track of what works and what doesn't. And I think that's helped us inch forward every year. I say inch forward. Some years it's more than inches, but I do think it's been a lot of trial and error, eliminating some crops that nobody cared about, bringing them back. Like this year, we tried kohlrabi like 5 years ago or something. And I tried it again this year. Doug, who's the new kind of part-time partner on the farm, he loves it. And he said, nah, just try it again. And sure enough, my stepdad started peeling kohlrabi and handing out samples at market. And now we suddenly sold out of kohlrabi like in 2 weeks. And so just like weird little tweaks like that, trying to make things work that didn't work before, but being quick to say, I hate this. I hate digging potatoes. They suck and nobody cares. I'm not planting them again. So a lot of tweaks like that each year. Also tweaks on the marketing. We ran after a lot of different marketing opportunities for a lot of years. And then once I was doing the farm on my own or managing it on my own, and I didn't have time for that, it was amazing how focusing on just these 2 markets, both of them really swelled. When I stopped trying to do a CSA and have some online ordering and someone interested in wholesale in Tulsa, this drives up there. Over the years, we tried a bunch of different things and I think have really found more success in focusing on a couple.
If you enjoy farm podcasts, then tune into Carrot Cash Flow for all things farm business. Join us as we explore the latest trends, tips, and stories from market farmers running businesses just like yours. Whether you're a seasoned farmer or just starting out, our podcast has something for everyone. Listen in and grow with us. Available on all major podcast platforms. Don't miss out. Subscribe to Carrot Cash Flow today.